The Nigerian-British Chamber of Commerce recently hosted the March 2022 edition of the Meet the Governor series, Investments and Opportunities, which featured the Governor of Edo State, His Excellency Mr. Godwin Obaseki. In her remarks, Mrs. Bisi Adeyemi, the President and Chairman of Council, NBCC, said that the forum organized by the Chamber was an opportunity for governors to provide first-hand information on investment opportunities available across states in Nigeria.
Today's event offers an opportunity to His Excellency to showcase Edo State to the global investment community. We have in the past had the honor of hosting the governors of Ogun, Lagos, and Edo states, and will continue to extend this initiative to other states to provide our members and the general public with first-hand information on the investment opportunities available across Nigeria. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, today's event is in alignment with one of our cardinal objectives as a chamber, which is the promotion of trade and investment between Nigeria and other nations, and in particular, the UK. Nigeria is one of the most attractive investment destinations in Africa. We believe that this event will provide a great opportunity for participants to identify opportunities for collaboration with Edo State.
Governor Obaseki highlighted developments that have occurred in Edo State over the last 6 years and how it is positioned to receive investment through significant reforms.
Strategically, Edo is perhaps one of the best located states in Nigeria, because you can't go from the west of this country to the eastern part or to the south-south without going through Edo. So we are a natural hub. The other great thing is, from a McKinsey study, if you put a pin, a dot in Benin City, and undertake a radius of 100 kilometers radius of Edo, or let's say 300 kilometers radius of Edo, there is 100 million people. That's the access we have to markets. The reason, from my experience, having been in the private sector and now in the public sector, the reason this country does not work, or is not working as optimally as we would like to, is because the bureaucracy is broken. Can you imagine coming to your office and the cleaner is not there, the accountant is not there, or, how are you going to function? That's the challenge of this country. The bureaucracy is broken because we've not invested in the bureaucracy for years, and the military tampered with it. And that's the advantage many other African countries have over us. So that no matter so for us, as long as you don't fix the bureaucracy, you can postulate and create all sorts of policies. There'll be nobody to drive those policies and implement the policies for you. So for us, the first was fix the bureaucracy. So what have we done? We just looked at the building blocks. Like I said, public service reforms. That's we're way into the reforms. But I think for us, where we have achieved the most is in terms of building talent, preparing ourselves to supply talent to the globe and to the country. We started with education reforms to first rethink and reenact education in Edo State. Because what has given us the advantage through time, through history, is knowledge. And so today, in terms of education, I think we are the front-runner reform government on the continent, because we took our basic education system, tore it apart, partnered with the private sector. We began to retrain our teachers. Last week, you will have seen on television, I graduated about 3,000 extra teachers, and on top of the 11,000 we have trained. Every teacher in Edo State today, basic school teacher, has a device where all their lesson notes are loaded, the attendance register is loaded, and and they've been trained in the pedagogy on how to teach children. So in Edo, a child in primary 1, after 6 months in school, can read very fluently. Security is local, just like politics. So yes, we've had this misalignment between our security system and our federalism, where you can't secure Nigeria from one point. So what we've done is to just rethink our security architecture, like you've done here, and involved the communities, locals, more in the security. So we have a four-tier security system, where first we have at every street corner. Then we have the community policing arrangement with local constabularies that go around. Then you have the public, we call them our boys, public works volunteers. And then the national security system. Right? So, and there's very close collaboration. We spend our own resources, lots of money, rebuilding the police training facilities in the state so that the police now trains this and helps us with, profiling them and, and also just knowing what they're doing and the kind of arms they have, if any of the groups have. We've also worked in the area of infrastructure. Key to infrastructure development for us is partnerships. Yes, we have our own budgetary spend, but what we're trying to do is see how we can leverage our budgetary spend with either federal, private sector in building infrastructure, be it roads or other related physical infrastructure. But we've also focused and invested heavily in digital infrastructure. Here we partnered with Main One, and today Benin City alone has over 600 kilometers of fiber connecting the city, and we're extending that with their new partners across the state. Electricity, Edo is the electricity and gas hub of Nigeria. And why is it so? Because of our unique location. All the major national infrastructure traverse Edo State. So if you look at the road networks, they must all come through. If you look at the grid network, the transmission network, all the generation from the Delta, Otorogo, Geregu, and Co, all of them come into Benin Main One, and then from there get redistributed to the rest of the country. So at any point in time, we have electricity in Benin. And more importantly, the gas network follows that same trajectory. Outside of that, Edo has the largest onshore gas fields, gas resources in Nigeria. The rest of the gas is either in the swamp or in the deep offshore. But in terms of onshore, gas assets, it's Edo. So, Logo, 30 kilometers from Benin, you have the NBCC drilling, everybody is drilling for gas. And so what I'm doing is saying, look, let's partner. And, so we did Azura. We had to partner with the private investors to build Azura. And from the experience building Azura, we then realized that, okay, we could do it locally. We then went to another Chinese group and did a 55 megawatts IPP, which is now powering the city, and we hope to expand that. Healthcare key. For me, like I said, if we learned anything from COVID, was that, look, we've got to fix our healthcare system. Because for many of us, we lost so many people because they just couldn't get out to their doctors in England or wherever, right? So the lesson for us was fix the healthcare system. And how have we decided to do that? Simple. Just like education, it's about basic care. Make sure that every ward in the state has a clinic. I don't want to say it runs like any private clinic, because we have a private sector partner who is helping us manage. And we're now rebuilding the Stella Bassender Hospital into a major medical center. And there we're also going to partner, with various service providers in the various specializations. So what are the opportunities? First, we need to connect Edo. You see, Apapa is gridlocked. Apapa port is about 17 or 18 nautical miles from the Atlantic. The Benin City River Port, which we're currently working on, we have our transaction advisors have completed the first phase of the assignment, is 37 nautical miles from the Atlantic Ocean. That's how the Portuguese came in. So for us, it's so important for us to build, to build that port to decongest Apapa. There's really no reasons why you can't clear all your containers from Benin City, because all the containers going to the east and to the north don't have to be cleared from Apapa. You can pick them up in there. For us, it's about connecting the missing dots. What do those pieces mean for us? They're part of us. So when these kids are jumping off to try and cross the Sahara to Europe, you're saying, why are they doing that? Because they don't know who they are. They don't have the essence of who they are. There's nowhere else, as I said, on the continent, or this is part of the continent, that has anything as authentic as we have in Edo. So what we've done is to define a cultural district. As I speak, there are 2 archaeological teams. The British Museum is one of them, working on some archaeological work in the city. And on the back of that, we are finalizing capital raising to build the first pavilion to receive the first set of pieces that are likely to be coming in from Europe before the end of next year. But not just, as a first phase, we're going to be building a museum, a bigger museum, it's Adeyemi, but to use these facilities as a research facilities to understand much more what happened and how we are, what has happened to us as a people. So there's opportunity there. Real estate, I'm sure, just like Lagos, there's a whole real estate boom. We have a very active diaspora that's sending money home. And so what we've done is to try and just clean up the land acquisition process, try and get a lot of guys who have been grabbing land illegally off the streets. And we're seeing real exciting opportunities in real estate in Edo. And I tell you, our returns are better. I know how much you buy land in Lekki. I know how much it costs you to develop. I'll do that for a fraction in terms of development. And my rents are beginning to be really good. Mining, I could go on, but Dangote is in Edo, Boa is in Edo, there's a lot of limestone, there's a lot of mining going on. We have a whole colony of Chinese who are coming in there, manufacturing everything from steel to ceramic tiles to, we have the largest flat sheet glass company in Nigeria, in Edo. We have the largest MDF manufacturing company, and these are Chinese. So we'd love to have, Nigerians come in there and look at these opportunities. Because at the end of the day, it's about energy. We have cheap energy, and we are training our quality people.
Following the governor's presentation was a question and answer session that was moderated by Mr. Olufemi Awoyemi, MNI, Chairman ProShare.
In your presentation, you mentioned to us why politics is important. What has been the difference from an investor going into governance to see why things haven't moved very well?
I think we're just unfortunate as a country to have kept the military for that long. See, because the issues that led to the military intervention in 1963, just trying to rethinking the country, the DNA of our country. How do we organize this country? That led to a bit of squabbles among the political class at that time. Those issues were never really resolved because we had a civil war, we had oil boom, and the military, found it convenient to stay, for the better part of 2 generations. So now oil is dwindling, oil is disappearing, or, our population is grown beyond, grown beyond what oil can. And we are now beginning to ask ourselves those fundamental questions. Should we be organized the way we are? And it's only politics. It's about sitting across the table in terms of politics that you can begin to deal with those issues. And if you don't deal with them, there's no way. I used to think, first the economy before politics. No. You've got to sit and, and discuss the politics. Why are we organized the way we are? Why should you have more than I do? And we come to an agreement. The DNA of Nigeria, as I said, does it represent and reflect the structure we have today? I'm an Edo man. We existed as an empire, as an entity before the creation of Nigeria. Now, if I have to live within the context of Nigeria, how should we live? You are an Oyo man. You are a Kanuri man. You are a Tiv man. We must sit across the table and have those conversations and have a system, a structure that optimizes the benefits we're all bringing So, and that is politics. And that's what we've not done well enough.
The NBCC Meets the Governor series, which has now featured 4 governors, is a welcome development that is helping to support states in the area of facilitating trades and investments.